Hey y'all guys, welcome to the Tab and Dillard podcast. I'm Tab and Dillard. I didn't want there to be any confusion from the get-go today. Like, hey, who's talking? I thought this is the Tab and Dillard podcast. When they gonna introduce him or like out of way, that kind of thing? No, it's me. It's me, and we season 6, episode 14s. You know what that means? Just if you new here, I'll let you know right now. We basically do 15 episodes of seasons. So if you pretty decent, or remedial math, you'll know that 14 is just right before 15. So next week's the last episode of season 6 of the Tab and Dillard podcast. And if you do know that, then you probably know that the last episode of every season, I do a Q&A where I bring the answers, but I answer the questions that you ask, so y'all bring the questions. And then we'll come in. I'll tell you right now, I don't know if you watching this video when it comes out on Tuesday, just after Memorial Day, here at the end of May. If you watching it or listening today, you watching on the YouTubes because you can, or you listening with your ears somewhere else, you can do that. If you got a question for the Q&A, today's the day to send it in because I got to get them all organized, and all the ones that have come in so far are kind of organized. I don't think I missed any. I will say one thing. I got a notification that the Spotify said folks left questions or something over there, but I don't know how to get to them questions. I tried. I don't know. So if you left a question on the Spotify, do the email or text. Email me at tabanddillard@gmail.com. That'll be in the show notes today. Or text me 501-322-6249. That'll be in the show notes too. So that's coming up next week, and we'll be wrapping it up. And then, of course, we in the middle, not even to the middle of softball season yet. So, softball season don't end until late summer, early falls. So when season 7 of the Tab and Dillard podcast begin in a couple weeks, I'll still be walking you through this season. We 4-1 right now. You can't say that's bad. That's a real good start. That's the best start I remember, for Team Burger Shed off to a softball season. But this week, I'll give you an update. We played Team Thunder Punch, and they the defending champs. We already played them once this year, and we did pretty good against them. But, they good. That's the bottom line. They fielded a good team, so I'll give you an update on how that went. But I'm telling you right now, we had some good news this week in Chancellor Park. You know about that? Do you know about that? Look at this. Well, you can't look if you ain't on the video, but I'll tell you right now, I'm holding up a bag of Tavin's bacon with more popcorn bacon. Now, if you're not familiar with my bacon bags that Boise Bacon puts out, it's full of delicious bacon that you can snack on. It's ready to eat. You can tear it at the top right next to the bank sign. And then the popcorn bacon. You heard of popcorn chicken, that kind of thing, where you just have little niblets of it. And you heard of popcorn. You eat at the movie house, and you got your elbow deep in buttered popcorn, and your arms all wet, that kind of thing. Well, this is popcorn bacon. At the bottom of these bacon bags, there's 4 pieces. I think it's 4 pieces, but it's cut up pieces of bacon at the bottom. So you get to the bottom of the bag, you think, well, I guess that's all. Oh, wait, there's more, kind of thing. So the Tavin's Bacon Bag just relaunched this past week, and I'll put that link in the show notes if you want to get some snack bacon for the Father's Day or any other occasion. Maybe the occasion is you love bacon. That's a good reason to get it too. Watermelon helmet season is in full speed ahead, the way you look at it. There's more videos coming out. I worked on a new snack helmet, so that video's coming out soon. You can attach your snacks to your helmet so you hands-free riding your bike into town or whatever. So, I like to be a little educational. You like to help the next generation know how to really stay safe and stylish and practical. And the watermelon helmet is all of them, especially the snack helmet. So I got some more watermelon helmets, and as you folks get yours made and get pictures, it's already happened. You send them to me. You can email, or you can text them, or you can do the direct message on the Instagrams. That's where I usually post them. If folks send me their watermelon helmet pictures on my stories on the Instagrams, so that's where they end up. So if you want to be a part of that, that's happening. So send them in if you'd like. My bacon bag is falling over. I think it's wanting to be and I'm trying to show a little self-control during the podcast kind of thing. But in the show notes today, you're going to find all that. You're going to find the link to the bacon bag and a link to all my shirts. There's been a few coming in. I told you. Well, right now I'm wearing a new Bank shirt. I almost forgot about that. Look at that. It's the same design, but it's a different color. Instead of the dark blue, like a royal blue you might call it, I think, this is more of a charcoal. So you got that option for the Bink shirt. Anyways, links to shirt in the show notes, all the shirts and hats and all that kind of thing. Links to the bacon in the show notes today. And of course, how to get in touch with me if you got a question for the Q&A. I mean, get it in today, y'all guys. My email and my cell phone cellular text number is in there too. So that's how that goes. So I told you we played Thunder Punch this week at the softball fields. But my brother Brett, he was back in a trailer park, Chancellor Park, and he wanted to do a wrestling match. And I mean, no matter how much people get mad at Brett or how many dumb ideas he does or how much property he destroys, it's hard for anybody to say no to a wrestling match. And so, I mean, word got out. JT Whitlow, he lived in Chancellor Park, so he just had to step out his trailer, and he was, ready to be part of it kind of thing. And then his girlfriend, Whitney, that's Cody Mantell's cousin, she brought a karaoke speaker machine because she liked to be the center of attention and the life of the party, but she didn't want to wrestle, but she thought, she could just be, people could be singing, or if nobody else wants to sing, oh, she'll sing kind of thing. So she had that there. And then her cousin, Cody Mantell, he showed up with Lindy Ray. She's pregnant. She's going to have another baby end of summer, I think. Somewhere around there. I mean, I know she ain't due yet, but that baby's growing. And they got that little girl, Daphne, already. She's probably 8-year-old, something like that. So they showed up, and Linda Ray seemed a little bit uncomfortable. We got a kiddie poo, with the water. We put the water hose in there, and she could put her feet in it kind of thing, just sit in the lawn chair. She wasn't going to wrestle neither. She didn't want to wrestle, and that's good because when you pregnant, it probably ain't the best thing for the baby. I ain't a wrestleologist or a babyologist, but I'm just putting 3 and 4 together, kind of like that. But Cody was ready to wrestle, and he did some, well, before the wrestling match started, Myron Curtis showed up, Russell Tucker was there, Gilbert Phillips was there. That's Chlorine Phillips' son. He played on Team Thunder Punch softball team. He live in town now. I heard he got a part-time job at Sutter Me Up. That's a laundromat Ricky Don Pearson bought and refixed up. But anyhow, he's back, and we ain't used to him being around. Like, he'll show up and then he'll leave, kind of like my brother Brett. But he showed up, eating some sort of burger with cheese and onions, everything on it kind of thing. Well, he's there, and Cody's, just taking off his flip-flops and putting on some tennis shoes because, if you wrestle in a gravel in a trailer park, it's hard to really get much traction in some flip-flops, and I guess he just had them on. And so he tossed them in the back of his Lord mini truck, and then he's strapping on them tennis shoes. Well, Gilbert wasn't looking nowhere. He's just like talking like, boy, I'm gonna show everybody who's boss tonight. Just kind of talking how you talk before you trying to, compete with something. Well, he opened up that burger he getting through, and he got them pickles. Apparently, he don't like pickles on his burger, and he took these 2 hot pickles and he winged them. Well, he didn't see where he threw them, and they hit Cody in the neck. Now, you do not want to hit Cody Mantell in the neck with hot pickles off a burger. And Gilbert looked up, and Gilbert's a big boy. He beat up an adult bull moose. He got a reputation. I don't know all the full details, but basically went toe-to-toe with an adult bull moose for a few minutes to where the bull moose walked away. He didn't body slam it or win the wrestling match, but I mean, he stood him down kind of thing. And folks said, well, he beat him up, and that bull moose turned tail and ran. But, he a big boy. He played backup catcher to junior college for 1 year, so, he got some strength in him. So it ain't like I'm just telling you about Gilbert because it ain't like he afraid of people. But he winged them pickles, not looking where they was going, hit Cody in the neck, and Cody hopped up. He only had one of them shoes on at that point, and he's like, son, called him son, they probably the same age. He said, son, you better think before you do that. And he pulling pickle off his neck and throwing it on the ground. He got mustard on his fingers because I guess Gilbert liked mustard, ketchup, and mayonnaise. He liked it all on the burger, and apparently them pickles were sat right in that mustard because it was like mustard only and pickle juice that landed on Gilbert's neck. I mean, on Cody's neck from Gilbert, along with, of course, the pickles. They landed on his neck, too. So he get up, and Gilbert kind of panicked. You could see it in his eyes, like, hey, man, I didn't even mean nothing by it, right, like that way. And you could tell this wasn't going to be a wrestling match. It's going to be a full-on fight, like fist-on-fist kind of thing, throwing hands. And Gilbert got out of there. And Cody chased her for a little bit on one shoe, and Lindy Ray's like, Cody! She's yelling at him, Cody! And then all of a sudden, Whitney brought her the microphone for that karaoke speaker, and she yelled through that. She said, Cody Mantell, you turn around. You can't go back to jail. And that'll get him, because he got released, what, it'll be 2 years in the summer, 2 years in July. He got out. He had a little stint there. It's long enough for him to say, I don't want to do that again. And she reminded him, that wasn't what he wanted to do. So he stopped, and and we were there. I was there. JT was there. Russell was there. Myron was there. We said, hey, we playing Thunder Punch down to softball fields. You show them on the field, Cody. You fine, buddy. Just stay here and wrestle. So he ended up wrestling. JT and him went at it for a little bit, just kind of started off and, get some of that energy out. But then my brother Brett challenged JT Whitlow to a wrestling match. Now, JT got a lot of strength, and my brother Brett is mostly talk. I mean, like 99% talk. He got a little bit of, fight in him. But JT played him to a tie. We had to finally call it, and I think JT don't want to get hurt. He getting at that age where you get too crazy, you get too wild, you get hurt, and we having fun on a softball field, and he know he can't play softball. If he snap his knee or something, or I don't know, pull a hamstrap, kind of thing, strain a forcep, any of those things that you can do when you wrestling somewhere. I mean, there ain't a lot of rules, and you on gravel. I mean, you get DDT'd on the gravel, you're going to be feeling it all night and in the morning too. So anyhow, they played to a tie, and then my brother Brett kept calling me out. I'm kind of watching, having fun. Cricket couldn't make it. We were just all hanging out, those of us that was there, talking, laughing, some karaoke singing kind of thing. And my brother Brett wouldn't stop. He's like, come on, you can't do this. So I step up, and we start going toe-to-toe. And he got a pointed elbow. I mean, I guess both of them are, but he right-handed, so he started with that right elbow, and he got me right in the spine, right in the middle of the spine, just bone on bone, elbow on the vertebrae. And boy, that stunned you for a minute, boy, and you want to go at him. So I get him by the back of the neck, and then I'm pulling him toward it, because if I can get him down under my armpit for like a DDT, I mean, we could maybe call this quits pretty quick. But boy, he's wiry. I mean, we brothers. We from the same kin, right? So, he wiry like me, and he's starting to try to wire out of this. And so I'm like, well, let's go half Nelson and see if I can get him down, locked up in the ground game. Well, I'm trying to get him, and he's just moving all over the place. He got an energy. I mean, like nothing else. I mean, the guy won't stop moving. That's his biggest strength, is that he don't stand still. He like a little grasshopper or whatever. Well, about that time, I get him locked up to where I think I can get, the back of his seat britches and pull him up in the DDT. Memaw come turning into Chancellor Park in her 91 Buick Regal, and she just right in the middle of that trailer park wrestling match, and she just parked her car. And I mean, there's a couple things you can do. If it's just anybody's car, you can use that, like you use a card table. You climb up on that, you top rope somebody, elbow drop them, take them to the ground, pin them that like that away. But you ain't about to stand on my Memaw's hood or the roof of her car. And basically what she said without saying it is that this wrestling match is over, kind of thing. And so I guess, you call me and my brother Brett a tie, but I think he was saved by the Buick, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's just a matter of time before I was going to show him what I done showed him many matches before. So he was happy with that, and he kept talking, he kept running his mouth like he do, like, boy, you lucky Memaw showed up. I'm thinking, son, you lucky Memaw showed up, like that away. So, I mean, the good news is we had some fun out there, and then nobody got hurt to where we had an injury, in a trailer park that was going to affect the Team Burger Shed softball game at the softball fields against the defending champs from the fall seasons, which is Team Thunder Punch. That's the boxing gym in town that Coach Hicks runs. And Coach Hicks, that he had lifeguard at the City Pool, so if you think his life was busy before City Pool season started, I tell you right now, it's twice as busy, if not more. Before I get to that, though, I was just remembering, I designed, and I put it on the Instagrams and the Facebooks last week, and there's a Team Burger Shed 2023 shirt coming. I've been talking about it, but it's going to drop on June the 1st. That's this week. It's going to drop this week, so keep your eyeballs out for that if you want that. It's a red, just past the red sleeves, just past your elbows, like a softball shirt. And then it's gray, and then the front is black where it says Team Burger Shed 2023, and on the back is the roster. Now, there was some confusion, and it's my fault online when people saw the roster. They're like, oh, Tavin, they got you batting cleanup. Boy, you going to hit dingers. Well, sometimes I have batted cleanup. I'm more of a leadoff guy, but I wrote all our numbers because I designed the shirt. I drawed it. I wrote everybody's name in alphabet order. So Tavin Dillard, I was fourth down because that's how I followed in the alphabet on our team. JT Whitlow's at the bottom because he's W kind of thing. Cody Briggs is first. So that's how that worked. And so anyways, it's coming on June the 1st. So there won't be a link in the show notes today because it ain't June 1st. But if you check, actually if you check that link that takes you to my shirts after June 1st, the shirt will be there on the side at that time. But it won't show up till the June the 1st. So that's just a side note I remembered in the recesses of my brain. The recesses is where you climb jungle gyms and you run around, do a little tag and that kind of thing. Anyhow, so Coach Hicks, you know, he's so busy. You know, Memaw has started her water aerobics class, and her and Mabel Childress are in it, and it's just, you don't know how it's going to be. They get in that pool, they get in the Shella end, all these old gals and Coach Hicks, and he lead it sometime from the side where he just standing up out the water, and sometimes he in the water, and I seen them today. They kind of do these things where they just shrug their shoulders, like, I don't know, like you little toddler, like, hey, did you eat that last cookie? I don't know. They bringing them shoulders up and they standing in the water, and that's like the water aerobics. And then sometimes they do a little bit of hopping. You know, I mean, if you're 80, 90 years old and you're trying to hop on concrete, it's harder to do. But if you in the water, you getting a little exercise, and it's not the impact on your joints kind of thing. So he's leading a water aerobics class with Memaw and Mabel, and ain't no full-on fight started yet, but Mabel's starting to kind of, you know, just yap a little bit at Memaw, and that's how it began. And there's no real good way to kind of come in there and intercept what's going to happen. Coach Hicks has tried. Them are two determined gals, you know, kind of thing. So Coach Hicks ain't got a Buick Regal that he can drive in the middle of water aerobics to break up a fight kind of thing. He got to figure out something else. But he busy, but not too busy to step up and show up to the Thunder Punch softball game course. You know, he sponsored him. He played on that team, and he was pitching. He had him and Gilbert Phillips pitching this week down at the softball fields. And our pitchers we started with Myron Curtis, and we brought Russell Tucker in when things went sideways, and it's just a rough night for everybody. But I tell you right now, I'll tell you who showed up and showed out was Cody Mantell. Now, this guy's got a temper, and he will fight people anywhere. He will break laws. You know, this is Cody of the past. Now, he's trying to do better. Like, we weren't going to put up with a lot if he's going to be on Team Burger Shed. When he put that jersey on, you know, and he's wearing that on the front of him, he got to act, you know, civilized kind of thing. Well, he get in there today, and we told him, we said, hey, man, you did good the other night with that one shoe, and you stopped chasing, you know, like Lindy Ray wanted you to. You didn't try to catch Gilbert Phillips because he threw them hot pickles at your neck and nothing like that. And now you here, and now you're going to play Thunder Punch, and Gilbert's pitching. You just do what you need to do, Cody. And there's a time where he would have just struck out and then charged the mound still holding the bat. But he played some softball tonight. Cody Mantell hit 3 dingers tonight. 2 off Gilbert Phillips, 1 off Coach Hicks. And I mean, it was a flurry of scoring, and we scored 9 runs. So I mean, that's what we call, you know, the good news. We out there scoring 9 runs, and then I scored about 3, you know, because I get on base, and then the big boys, you know, they get them doubles and homers and them kind of things. So we was feeling pretty good, but I'm telling you, Myron Curtis, he couldn't find a strike zone. Then when he did find a strike zone, they bats found a ball, and they was cranking it too, you know. And I mean, they ain't the defending champs for no reason. You know, they got some fight in them kind of thing. And so all of a sudden, they tied it up, and we ended up playing till the end. Well, it was 9-9. And they ended up calling it a tie because we played little extra innings. And then somebody turned off the lights on the field. And it just take a while to crank them back on. And we just said, we calling it kind of thing. So folks found their way to their cars. The concession stand was pretty underwhelming tonight, which I was pleased with. If I don't hear anything from the concession stand, then I feel like it's a good night. Because otherwise it means like Cheryl Grubb showed up and she brought her dog a jalapeno and she had ideas. Mary Beth Tucker brought some sort of casserole and she's spooning it out, you know, on paper plates for folks, and she didn't figure out what to charge and people didn't know, and now there's a line, or something's too spicy, and Myron Curtis got a hold of it, and now he tearing up the park bathroom. You know, there's always something. So for them to say, oh yeah, no big deal to concession stand tonight, you know, that almost throwed me off. Like, that almost got in my head, like, wait, what's going on? It's too quiet over there. You know, it's like when you're watching toddlers and all of a sudden you don't hear them no more. You know they up to something. But apparently tonight, Mary Beth Tucker just stuck to the Skittles and the hot dogs and the snow cones and the sodies. And the snow cones, that was a little interesting because, you know, the winner of the games gets snow cones. So we said, well, did we get a snow cone? Because we didn't lose, kind of thing. And they said, no, man, you got to win. So they just had, you know, or you had to buy it, you know. And I didn't need it that bad tonight. So I ended up down, you know, at the burger shed and getting what I really wanted. But I'm hoping next week. Now, thing about it is, there ain't going to be a softball season update for a couple of weeks because next week it's just a Q&A. So we just talking about that. I'm just answering the questions y'all sent in, and so you can be aware of that. But just know right now that there ain't gonna be no softball update. So in 2 weeks, I guess I'll have a little more to talk about as season 7, episode 1 of the Tab and Dillard podcast rolls out. But that's in 2 weeks. We ain't even talking about that. We talking about wrapping up May right now, and I tell you, there's a lot to look forward to. I mean, a whole lot to look forward to. Did you know that I designed a Rachel Christine shirt? Rachel Christine! That's Memaw's baby doll. And I think that might come out July 1st. You know, we can't be turning out shirts every week, but every month. I mean, June 1st, we got the new softball t-shirt. And July 1st, Peekaboo on the horizon. Or Rachel Christine might come out. Of course, I got some feedback this week. I mean, if you've seen the artwork for Rachel Christine, I wonder if I have it here. I don't. I'm looking around. Folks said it looked like a tombstone. I was like, well, I didn't want to look. It's her baby doll hair, and then underneath the bangs, it just says Rachel Christine. Instead of drawing the baby doll's face, I just wrote her name with exclamation points because that's how we say her name, Rachel Christine. But that may be in July. But I'm just telling you, there's a lot coming up as we wrap up May. You know, in June, of course, everybody knows National Cannonball Month. I don't know if it is, but it's at least Cannonball Month in my town and in my city poo and in my trailer park. And you part of that. So let's celebrate cannonballs this month. That's the way I look at it. So I got some haunches to stretch, 100% haunches to stretch. I got frittlers to eat. And I got bacon bags to eat. And I'll tell you right now, as hard as it is for me to share my bacon, the link will be in the show notes today in case you want to get some. And if you do have a question, hurry up and send that in. Because Team Burger Shed right now, we 4 1s and 1s. We won 4 games, we lost 1 game, we tied 1 game. We tied the defending champs. I ain't mad about that. And at the end of the day, didn't nobody get hurt? None of Team Burger Shed had injuries from a trailer park wrestling match, and that was on gravel. And nobody got hurt at the softball game. Now, do we want to win? Yes. Do we plan to keep winning? Oh, you better believe it. This season is just getting started. And I think June 1st, when them shirts drop, that's going to give us a little more power and strength we need. You know, kind of motivating. Now we got like home and away jerseys or however we want to do it. You know, we got our classic Team Burger Shed jersey, and then we got the new one, the Team 2023. Or, yeah, it's 2023. Team Burger Shed 2023 roster shirt. You know, so there's a lot to Peekaboo on the horizon about. And hey, I'm getting live shows lined up. It looks like I'm going to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma, July 21st, Newkirk, Oklahoma, July 22nd, and then maybe Missouri and Arkansas. But I ain't really promoting anything yet till I get, you know, a couple more figured out, and then I kind of put it up there. But that'll be late July, looking like Oklahoma, Missouri, and Arkansas, or one or the other. Arkansas or Missouri, I'm not sure. Northern Arkansas, southern Missouri, I'm not sure. But anyways, I just put that on your radar while you're thinking about it. And it's busy. We just busy. You busy. I'm busy. I appreciate you joining me here on the Tab and Dillard podcast. You need some bacon, you know where to find it. You need to text me, you know where to find my number. You need to emails me, you know where to find my email address. And of course, all the link to the merch is out there too. So it's a hoot of a time. We basically wrapping up season 6 of the Tab and Dillard podcast. And that's all I know about it. I'm just excited to be getting all this stuff done, because summertime, that's one of the funnest times of the year. I mean, I got watermelon helmets. Oh, I've been eating watermelon, not all of it. You share it, and then you wear it. You don't eat a whole watermelon. Boy, lesson learned. That'll tear your guts up. And then the cannonballs have started. Of course, the donuts always give me the strength through all of that, through softball season. Now the bacon's kicked in. I mean, there's a lot going on. And I hope you and yourn are doing good. As you know, Father's Day is coming up. I still do them personal greetings. And you know what? I'll put a link to that there too if you need a personal greeting for your daddy. I'm happy to do that. And you planning ahead, because I think Father's Day June 18th, so we, just shy 3 weeks out of that. So appreciate you joining me on the Tab and Dillard podcast. And hey, if your Memaw ain't drived her 91 Buick Regal into the middle of a trailer park wrestling match this week, you having a pretty good week. Me, I'm Tab and Dillard. This is the Tab and Dillard podcast. Till next time, y'all guys. We'll see you later.